So do you want to introduce yourself to everyone who is listening or watching this video right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Shawn Tempesta. I do afternoons at Mix 94.1 in Las Vegas. I do middays via the Dream of Voice Tracking out of Las Vegas for Magic 106.7 in Boston, my hometown. I do TV in the morning on the ABC affiliate in Las Vegas called Las Vegas Morning Blend. And I do a daily internet talk show called Free for All that airs on Twitch Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yay. Awesome. Okay. So the first question is, how did you get into the radio business?
All right, my start to the radio business. So when I was growing up, my mom didn't want me listening to a particular station in Boston. Kiss 108 in Boston was like the top 4 is still the top 40 station in the city. And my mom, born again Christian, really kind of strict when it came to that stuff, didn't want me listening to it because it was the devil's music. So then, of course, what did I do? I immediately started listening to the devil's music, and it was the first internship I ever had was over at Kiss 108.
Wow.
Started there, did 2 years for an associate's degree, made a really bad demo that a program director in Central New Hampshire heard and said, you know what? He's bad, but he's good enough. We'll bring him in. We'll try to make him better. Then went from there to Southeastern Mass at Fun 107. Then went to Mix 94.1 in Vegas, to Mix in Boston, and now back to Mix in Vegas.
That's awesome. The second question is, what is it like working for Odyssey?
Odyssey, man, you know what? They are, it's an interesting time right now. So we were working, I was with CBS Radio for a while. And initially, like the first day I worked, I got a job at CBS Radio was the first day that the company didn't have Howard Stern. It was Howard Stern's first day on Sirius. So obviously that's like a huge shot to, it was Infinity Broadcasting.
Yeah.
He leaves, they changed the name back to CBS Radio. It's this big thing. It was CBS for many years. Then Entercom came in and now changed the name to Odyssey. And I think the name change kind of just reflects where it's going. You know, there's no such thing as radio. I've been saying this for years. There's no such thing as radio anymore. There's no such thing as television anymore.
Yeah.
We're all digital. So like we're not just over the air. We're on the app. We're on the website. We're on social. So I think it kind of reflects that. And it's been, so far so good.
Yeah, that's good. So the third question is, how is it going to be on Mix 94.1?
Oh, man. So I started at Mix in 2006, January 5th, 2006. And it was me. This is kind of a lesson in, it's a very small incestuous industry. This is the lesson. So I started the same day as a guy named Brandon Bell. He was the music director and I was the webmaster and part-time on air. And so 2 years, I got passed up for nights 3 times. I was a little bitter, but I didn't burn the bridge completely. Thank goodness. My program director at the time was Justin Chase. Justin Chase is now pretty much like one of the top people at Beasley nationally. So it's a very small world.
Yeah.
Then Brandon Bell. I came back in 2010, got in part-time. And then 2 weeks later, they pushed me on afternoons, which I've been on ever since. Brandon ended up going on to work at My FM in LA as the APD MD. It's a very incestuous industry. One of my good friends, actually, I've known him since he was 15. He now runs Odyssey Boston.
Wow.
So it's like, it's a very small incestuous industry. So my time at Mix was the first time I left. I didn't want to leave. I love the brand. I, helped redesign the logo, took the old kind of skinny, scrawny logo and was able to make something like that. And it's been ripped off several times and that's fun. I love the brand. I love what they're able to do in the city. Our NTR events are, concerts and community events are second to none. And what we're able to do with a limited staff and a limited budget is pretty incredible. So I love working for Mix.
That's awesome. That's amazing. How did you get hired for Odyssey? Yeah.
Well, I got taken in by Odyssey, which got taken in by Entercom, which got taken in by CBS. I got hired. My story for Mix 94.1 is a sordid one. So in February 2005, I start talking to this girl on MySpace. MySpace. I ruled MySpace. When Facebook came out, my rule was over. But man, I was the top 8 king. Anyways, so she works in radio, I work in radio, and we start kind of chatting about radio, then about ourselves, and then about each other, and we just kind of like get into each other. We're just totally infatuated, and we talk on the phone all the time. We talk online all the time. We just fall in love. She was going to be visiting Vegas. Now, in April of 2005, I had sent a demo to the station, and I never heard anything back. I'm like, nah, damn it. Okay, never mind. Fast forward several more months, and she and her family are planning to go to Las Vegas from Northern California to spend time for a vacation or whatever it might be. I'm like, well, you know what? Listen, we've been talking all this time. Let me fly out to Vegas and meet. Let's finally meet. So I fly out to Vegas. It went terribly. It was not very good. Not good. Did not work out. One of the days, in the middle there, she was sick. But I walked around the strip and I put on headphones and I listened to Mix 94.1 because it was the station I had not gotten a response from.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying not to be rude, but by saying what I'm about to say, but like what I heard was not great. And I'm like, you know what? If I can't get a job at that station, I quit radio. Honest to God, I know I'm not excellent, but like I'm better than that. Come on, please. So ended up flying back to Boston. And there was no opening. Huge, by the way, anyone that's looking to get into any industry, just send in. Don't wait for an opening, because if you wait for an opening, everyone sees it. Chances are it's already filled by that point. Get in early. I send a demo. I get a call back an hour later.
Wow.
I get flown out 2 weeks later. And then a week after that, I am hired as their webmaster and part-time on air.
Wow.
All because of that MySpace day. If I hadn't had that and hadn't been to Vegas, I remember I was walking across the footbridge from New York to Excalibur, and I was looking towards the west side of the city. So not the strip, but like towards where I live now, ironically. And I was just saying, wow, people live here. That's interesting. This might be a cool place to live. That was it. I didn't think much of it, but yeah, sent the demo, and that's what ended up getting me here. And if it wasn't for that terrible MySpace date in 2005, I would not be here today.
Wow.
It wasn't awesome. I was heartbroken. If I didn't get that job, I would have been a mess. I remember I got in the taxi and I was heading to the airport, and Mix was on the air, and we were playing You're Beautiful by James Blunt. And I almost asked the taxi driver to drive us into a wall. It was just like, after the heart-crushing failure that was the last few days, to hear that song, I'm like, you know what? Do I even want to live anymore? Then, a week after that, I get a call back, or an hour later, I get a call back. That really made the downer part really quick, which was nice. And now I get to tell a funny story 15 years later.
That's good.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. Next question is, where did you go to learn how to be a radio DJ?
Oh, man. So I went to a school called the New England Institute of Art. That is not where I learned how to be a radio DJ. I do not think if you want to be in radio, you need to go to college at all. You can't teach personality. You can't teach wittiness. It's kind of something that's just going to be built within you or not. I started doing demos when I was 12. Like I had a little karaoke machine, and I had a few CDs, and I didn't know there were demos, but I would record me pretending I was on the radio. And
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was that's how I got my start. And I was just emulating the people on air, but I was over emulating it, and it was try to talk like this, and it was just stupid. The way that I got better was just by keep doing, and then finally getting a part-time gig, which are tougher to come by now, which sucks. But I got a part-time gig where the PD said, "That's not your real voice." I'm like, "Yes, it is." And he was like, "No, it's not. Stop it." So he was able to calm me down, and it's just, you got to learn by doing. You got to get reps in. So even if you're not at a radio station, just fake it. Talk in between songs when Spotify's playing something, and record yourself, and just hear yourself back. And do I sound pukey? Am I trying too hard here? And that's how I learned how to be a radio DJ. You learn by doing. And really, as a part-timer, it's tough to learn. Really, you gotta have to get day in and day out. Because if you have a bad weekend shift and you're only on once a weekend, you have to wait 6 days to go in and do it again. That's torture. Meanwhile, if I have a bad break or whatever, I don't even think about it. I'm on to the next one, and there's another day after that and another day after that. So The full-time jobs are tougher to come by, but
Yeah,
you know, if you can, that's where you're going to learn the most.
that's interesting. I like that. Okay, so next question is, for anyone who wants to be a radio DJ for Odyssey, what do you recommend they should do?
If you want to work for, I would, first of all, I wouldn't put all your eggs in one company basket. That's, I mean,
Mhm.
there's a ton of operators out there. So whether it's Odyssey or any of the other companies that are out there,
Mhm.
keep your eyes open, because sometimes the opportunity doesn't end up at the place you want, at the time you want, in the city you want, but it
Mhm.
might be the right opportunity for you. So
Yeah.
the first thing I would say is, if you can break in, if you need that demo and you find a station that's willing to take a chance on you, and it might not pay very well, you might have to pay some dues for a year or two.
Mhm.
You know, it's not the way it used to be, where you have to go to podunk, tiny market, and then build your way up from there. I mean, you're seeing some people that are, you know, able to build, like Seacrest started in Atlanta, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's bananas. So you you just you make you make your demos on your own time. Then you hopefully find a station that's willing to take you in and
Mhm.
prove yourself at that station. And then hopefully you're able to prove between your fake demo and your real demo that you've got what it takes. And then, frankly, if you're at the right place, we've seen jumps from market 120 to market 4. Like, it
Hmm.
happens a lot more
Wow.
often than it used to. So yeah, just, you know, the best thing I could tell you is send in everywhere. Don't wait for openings. You never know when that part-timer just quit on the PD and they don't have
Mhm.
time to be able to put out the, you know, or they have to wait 3 weeks to post it on the website to say that we need an opening. You never know what the timing is. So if you get
Yeah.
in at the right time and you send out and you network, the opportunities will come to you.
Okay. Like that. Mhm. Should anyone who is interested in radio, should they start as an intern first?
Depends on the market. Some
Hmm.
markets have interns, some don't.
Mhm.
So, you know, I don't think our market has any interns, so that wouldn't be the right move here. But in Vegas, I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen a lot of people come straight out of college to being on air, because
Hmm.
among others, I've been able to find some talent that I think would be really good for our station,
Mhm.
and train them, because we don't have, like, Vegas is in an island, and like 2 hours in any direction, there's barely anything.
Hmm.
So we have to kind of make our own part-time talent. They can't drive in from a smaller market an hour away, because there is no smaller market an hour away.
Hmm.
So what I'd say is, you know, whether it's interning, I mean, definitely you should, if you're in college, you should intern every semester. You're
Mhm.
going to learn more in the internships than you will in school, more likely than not, if you're going for media.
Mhm.
Um, if it's not that, it's the street team. At least then you're getting paid. That's nice.
Yeah.
And then try to get in for part-time. You know, if there's a college radio station, awesome, do some stuff there. That demo might be good enough to get you part-time at a local station. If
Mhm.
so, boom, you've started your career. So yeah, I don't think the internship's a requirement, but I would
Hmm.
suggest you intern way more than what they say is the required. Do more than that.
Hmm. Interesting. I like that. That's good. Do you recommend that? Do you recommend that whoever wants to work in the radio business, do you recommend them going to college? Yeah.
Nah. I mean, it's been like that for years. Like, I remember
Uh-huh.
Artie the One Man Party in Boston, who's, I don't think he's in radio anymore, but he was like, he just killed the night show at Kiss in Boston.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he came out of high school to
Wow.
go straight into radio, and he never went to college.
Wow.
I don't think, I'm not anti-education by any means,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't think that it's fully necessary unless you're looking to
Yeah.
go into management, particularly like the corner office GM
Mm-hmm.
sort of situation.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no, this is a creativity market, and you can't teach creativity. It's something that's going to be in here. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I wouldn't. It's save yourself a ton of money, because frankly,
Yeah.
you know, with all due respect to radio, it's going to take you a lot longer to pay off the bill if you're working in radio. So
Mm-hmm.
if you can get away with not going to college, probably the way to go.
Yeah. I like that.
Study
Good.
something else if you're going to go to college. Study business or something else, anything other than
Mm-hmm.
radio. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Is an on-air check important for getting hired? If so, how should someone make one?
So an air check is literally, if you have a master's degree in radio, but you have no air check, and I just got out of high school and I have an air check that's pretty decent, I'm going to get the job over the kid that has the master's. Why? Because it doesn't matter what the diploma says. It means nothing. Just because you have a diploma doesn't mean you're going to be good on air. Same is true for television as well. You need to prove you can actually do the job. So we know you can read the books. Can you actually do it? So the best way to make a fake demo, not everyone has the ability to use the Adobe suite to use Audition, but you download Audacity.
Yeah.
You download some MP3s legally, of course. Legally, do it legally.
Yeah.
And then you just, you put the trail end of one song to the very beginning of the next song, and you record and you talk over it. And you do that for 10 different songs, 10 different combinations of songs. And then you cut off, obviously, you just like 2 seconds, maybe a second of the actual end of the song, then you talking, and then about a second of you not talking into the next song. And that's it. Try to hit some posts, do some great content breaks. And yeah, prove that you can do it. And the other thing is the air check's only half the battle now. The other half is social media. So like they're hiring people that might not have an air check, but have a great social media following. So get your TikTok game going, get your Instagram going, your Facebook, your Twitter, hit it off YouTube, hit all the freaking things, and show that, yeah, you know what? He might not have a demo or she might not have a demo, but they've got like some pretty good material here and they've got a following. If they have a following on this platform, chances are they'll have a following on our platform.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, next question is favorite thing about getting to work for Odyssey.
Favorite thing about getting to work for Odyssey? I mean, honestly, it's beyond just Odyssey. Just working in the medium is human connection. Like, that's what it's about. And this is what the past year and a half of being stuck at the house and it's proven that human connection is so necessary. Yeah. So when, morning shows are looked at as this refuge and be able to like, I can listen to these and these people are my friends and I can call them and share my opinion. I don't have a morning show, but I've been able to do that with the free for all show that I do. Yeah. I think just having that human connection and being able to make a change in your community, it might just be, hey, you just won $1,000 in a national contest, but that $1,000 for that family could very well be a game changer for them that month. And we're able to provide that for them. Or, just a quick shout out. I've seen little videos of a 7-year-old getting a shout out and seeing their reaction. Like, it's just cool to be able to say, I'm going to try to be not a negative in their day. I'm going to try to be as positive and as fun. I'm going to make them smirk for just a second to make their day suck a little less. Yeah. That's what radio is awesome with. It's able to create a positive change when it's done right.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like that. And the last question is for anyone who wants to get a mentor, so they message the local radio DJ, what do you recommend?
Yeah, you know what? I would start there. I mean, if you don't know anyone in the radio industry at all, and there's that one person that you listen to or that one station that you listen to, you shoot them a DM. You say, hey, you know what? I'm interested in getting into radio. I don't know where to start, or how did you break in? Just ask them questions. Yeah. And honestly, some of them are not going to respond, and that's fine. People are busy, especially now. I mean, now more than ever, we're all working 5-6 jobs. But you'll find somebody that's willing to take you under their wing. That was Chris Ialuna for me, was my program director at WLNH. He was the one that I sent the demo to, and he brought me in. The demo sucked and I should not have been in, but he gave me a chance, and I appreciate him to this day, because if it wasn't for that one person giving me a shot and hearing me out and guiding me, I would not be here today and have the jobs I have. So that's a good way. And just expect nothing from your local DJ. Don't hate them if they don't respond. Just know that if you catch them at a good time, at a good day where they get nothing going on and they can respond, awesome.
I like that. And then for like anyone who wants to follow you and all that, where should they check you out on?
At Shawn Tempesta, personally, it's at Free for All Show, free number 4 all show, for the Facebook, Twitch live show that we do. We were doing Facebook for a while. And yeah, it's, just give me a follow. And honestly, if I can be a mentor or just I kind of answer questions for anybody, I am always glad to help. Sometimes I'm freaking inundated, but don't hate me if I don't respond. I will try. But yeah, just shoot me a DM and hopefully I'll be able to point people in the right direction and answer any questions you have.
Yeah, that's awesome.